All right, yesterday was pretty good for training. We ended up getting to that acquired structure and did a little hose line management inside. I had each one of the guys on the crew rotate between being nozzle person and backup, and as they're going through, kind of dictate conditions. Hey, stay low, and you fire above your head, fire in front of you, and watch them work the nozzle and working in the rooms. And then each person in the crew picked different areas where people to go. So everyone had involvement with it. After that, went in with some of the rooms and did some overhaul work, and then we went up to the roof and did some vertical ventilation. So guys got to use the hand tools for it, got to use the saw, and so it was good. We were pretty wiped when we left. Got back and just had responded to calls and hung out. I'd say one of the biggest things though that we got was there's one of the guys that's been kind of having at shift change. He's not liking the conditions that the kitchen's been left in, and I understand his point. He goes, hey, they have probationary guys. Why is stuff being left like this? And every time I talk to one of the drivers on that shift, he goes, he gets the same story, and just excuses are being made. No one's really taking ownership of it. And I tell him, I said, well, here's the deal. Something like this needs to be solved at the lowest level. This doesn't need to go up to captains. This needs to be a discussion. And I said, have you talked to the people you think should be doing it? Well, not really. I said, well, let me tell you this. I said, if it bothers you so much, the conditions of it, I go, lead by example with it. Come in, make sure your gear's ready, get a mop bug, and start cleaning the kitchen while they're in there. You'll set the precedence of this isn't acceptable to you, and if they're not going to do it, you're going to do it. And, that's kind of a lot of times how you lead change with it, because otherwise people just think people are being nitpicking on them or complainers or whatever. But, there's nothing more. It'd be like every time, if I get relieved by a crew, every time they come in, they're, fixing the hose loads, or, changing out air bottles because it was low. It just shows me that, ooh, man, I need to tighten up for it. Well, if you're having problems with people, then you do what you want done, and hopefully they'll jump on. Most likely, they're going to realize and go, oh, I guess we should do a better job. And that is going to work a lot better than just complaining to people. Because obviously if it bothers you that much, then you should clean it, right? So give him a little tool for it. If he does it, he does it. If not, it's easy to fall into a nitpicking pattern where you're always telling other people what they're not doing right. What about you? What can you do that's a little better? Because the odds are you're going to miss out on some stuff. So a good way is to lead by example with it and just do the work, and people will join you. I used that when I was floating around as a captain and when I was an acting officer. If there was a chore that day that needed to get done, I just start doing it, and people ended up joining me up with it. Works a lot better than just trying to dictate everything. So I hope you got something from this. If you did, share it up with other people. And as always, I'll talk to you next time.